Opening question. Let us begin with an important question. Does being kind to yourself make you lazy? Many people assume that it does. They think that if they stop criticizing themselves, they will stop improving. They believe that being hard on themselves is the only way to stay motivated. But research suggests the opposite. In reality, people who practice self-compassion are often more resilient. That means they recover more quickly from setbacks. They are also more willing to learn from mistakes because they do not feel crushed by them. They become less afraid of failure, which makes it easier to try again. And over the long term, they are often more motivated because their inner voice supports growth instead of creating fear. So in this module, we are going to explore a very important idea. Being kind to yourself is not weakness. In many cases, it is actually a strength. Topics covered. Now that we have opened with that question, let us look at what we will cover in this lesson. First, we will understand what self-compassion really means. This is important because many people hear the term, but do not fully understand it. Next, we will look at the difference between self-compassion and self-pity. These two can sound similar, but they are very different. Self-compassion helps you move forward, while self-pity often keeps you stuck. Then, we will talk about self-compassion versus making excuses. Being kind to yourself does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means responding to difficulty in a healthier and more useful way. Finally, we will connect this idea to a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that you can learn, improve, and develop through effort and experience. Self-compassion supports this mindset because it helps you stay open to learning, even when things go wrong. As we move through the next slides, keep in mind that self-compassion is not about lowering your standards. It is about changing the way you speak to yourself while you grow. Explain. Let us now define self-compassion more clearly. Self-compassion has 3 simple parts, and the first part is mindfulness. Mindfulness means noticing your thoughts and emotions without exaggerating them and without pushing them away. For example, if you fail a test, mindfulness helps you say, "I feel disappointed and stressed right now," instead of pretending you are fine or telling yourself that your whole future is ruined. This is important because when we exaggerate our feelings, we can become overwhelmed. But when we suppress them, we do not actually deal with them. Mindfulness creates a middle path. It helps you face what is happening honestly and calmly. This first part is the foundation of self-compassion, because before you can respond kindly to yourself, you first need to notice what you are feeling. In the next part, we will see that self-compassion is not only about awareness. It is also about remembering something deeply human. 2. Common humanity. The second part of self-compassion is common humanity. This means remembering that everyone makes mistakes, everyone struggles sometimes, you are not alone. When something goes wrong, many people start thinking, "Why am I like this?" Or, "I am the only one who cannot handle this." But that kind of thinking can make pain feel even heavier. It isolates you. Common humanity helps you remember that struggle is part of being human. It does not mean your pain is unimportant. It means your pain is not a sign that something is wrong with you as a person. It means you are having a human experience. For a high school student, this can be especially helpful. Whether it is stress about grades, friendship problems, family pressure, or self-doubt, it is easy to believe that everyone else has life figured out. But the truth is that many people are dealing with challenges, even if you cannot see them. So after mindfulness helps you notice what you are feeling, common humanity reminds you that you do not have to carry that feeling as if you are completely alone. Now let us look at the third part, which is how you actually respond to yourself in those moments. 3. Self-kindness. The third part of self-compassion is self-kindness. This means treating yourself with care instead of harshness, especially when you are struggling. A simple way to practice this is to ask yourself, "What would I say to a friend right now?" If your friend made a mistake, you probably would not say, "You are a failure, you never do anything right." You would likely say something more helpful, such as, "It is okay. You made a mistake, but you can learn from it," or "This is hard right now, but you are still trying." Self-kindness means offering yourself that same kind of support. This does not mean ignoring the mistake. It does not mean saying that everything is fine when it is not. It means speaking to yourself in a way that helps you improve instead of tearing yourself down. Now we have seen all three parts: mindfulness, common humanity, and self-kindness. On the next slide, we will bring them together so you can see how they connect. Visual suggestions. This slide brings the full idea together. Imagine 3 interconnected circles labeled mindfulness, common humanity, and self-kindness. Where these 3 overlap, we find self-compassion. This image is useful because it shows that self-compassion is not just one thing. It is a combination of awareness, connection, and kindness. Mindfulness helps you notice your experience clearly. Common humanity reminds you that struggle is part of life and that you are not alone. Self-kindness helps you respond in a supportive way. When these 3 work together, your inner voice becomes stronger, calmer, and more helpful. Instead of reacting with shame or panic, you can respond with honesty, understanding, and care. This is a powerful skill, especially during the teenage years, when mistakes and emotions can feel very intense. Self-compassion does not remove challenges, but it changes how you meet them. Now that you understand the 3 parts, let us pause and turn this idea into practice. Activity. Now it is time for a short reflection activity. Please pause the video and finish this sentence. The next time I make a mistake, instead of saying, I could say. This activity helps you notice your current self-talk, and then replace it with something more compassionate and useful. For example, instead of saying, I am so stupid, you might say, I made a mistake, but I can learn from it. Instead of saying, I always mess everything up, you might say, this did not go the way I wanted, but one mistake does not define me. Try to make your new sentence realistic, not fake. Self-compassion is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about speaking to yourself in a way that is honest and supportive. Take a moment to think of a real situation from your own life. The more personal your example is, the more meaningful this practice will be. When you are ready, continue to the final takeaway. Key takeaway. Let us end with the main idea of this lesson. Being kind to yourself helps you recover and grow. That is the heart of self-compassion. It helps you face mistakes without getting trapped in shame. It helps you stay motivated without using fear as your main source of pressure. And it helps you keep learning, even when things are difficult. So being kind to yourself does not make you weak, lazy, or careless. In fact, it can make you more resilient, more balanced, and more capable of growth over time. As we continue in this module on self-compassion, gratitude, and kindness, remember this: the way you speak to yourself matters. Your inner voice can either make challenges harder, or it can help you move through them with strength and wisdom.